All right, guys, welcome back to Ohio State Football with Scarlett and Great here on the Chat Sports Network. Thank you so much for joining us again. I am Johnny. Find me on Twitter at Scarlett Great JL or X, as they are calling it nowadays. Ohio State coming up against Marshall this weekend. I want to know your thoughts. Will Ohio State hang 60 on Marshall? Comment just a simple why or no, yes or no in the comment section. I want to know what you think. I'm going to say Tennessee had a 65 by halftime last week. Let's match that pace. A lot of people were like, they're just playing. I don't know who it was. It was some MAC school or somebody. I forget. But I'm like, guys, we just played two MAC schools, and we never got to 60 in the whole game. No one, you know who else has not got to 60? Anyone in the last 20 years got that much at halftime. So I was just saying that's impressive. Not that they're like going to win a title or anything, but wow, for that half, they figured their offense out against a bad team to a level which we don't usually see. So 60 is a lot. If Ohio State did it against Marshall, you would say, yeah, but come on, guys, it's only one half. We're obviously a juggernaut. You would. Anyhow, I'm just saying, can we get to 60? Let me know. I don't think so. All can, yes. Will, no. It doesn't seem to be like the Ryan Day way. So let me know your thoughts on that here. And later in the show, we're going to get straight into just what I am looking for the team, what I think we will see, how the injury report will develop, and some things that we can do on offense and defense, mostly offense, that can make the attacking of this team better. Real quick, guys, I want to let you know this show is brought to you by Columbus Pro Handyman. Whether you need simple repairs in your house or you need major renovations, whatever you need, appliance installation, just a patch on the wall, an entire deck built, a room remodeled, a ceiling fan hung, a dishwasher installed, anything and everything, you need to call Columbus Pro Handymans. These guys are going to save you a lot of money in the Columbus area. If you go with them, tell them Johnny sent you. You'll get a 10% discount. Tell them you heard Johnny on Scarlet and Great, and you'll get a 10% discount. And these guys, they're much cheaper anyway than going with a massive, contractor. The guy can get to you pretty quick. The team there at Columbus Pro Handyman can get to you quick. And again, they do great work, highly trusted. They can move fast at a fair price. I know there was a time in my life where Handyman really helped me out because I couldn't afford to pay these big-time contractors. And their work is just as good, like every bit as good if you find the right one. And I promise you, Columbus Pro Handyman is the right one for you. So you can find them at columbusprohandyman.com or call 614-887-6360 and let them know that Johnny sent you. All right. What I'm looking for in this team. First of all, I think for the first time, we're going to have a fully healthy team. We had Cody Simon back week 2 that wasn't there week 1. We got the bye week. Donovan Jackson, finally. We've had Severville on the O-line. He's done fine. You can tell he doesn't quite look like a starter, though, at times, right? Now, if he was playing Big Ten opponent, I would imagine he would definitely not look like a starter. Probably going to be a good starter next year, I would say so, but needs a little time, a little more development. Donovan Jackson, who let's be honest, hasn't lived up to his recruiting hype yet. I think will be even better this year than last year. He was good, not great last year. He was okay. I think he'll be even better this year. And that's going to open up a lot for the team. Maybe some of that sluggish, slow start running, the run plays getting stuff that you saw in week 1, that might not happen. So I'm excited to see just a little bit of a difference. I fully an offensive line that is one full unit across the board, really all doing its job. That's what it's all about, right? So that's going to make the whole offense be on time, just click a little better when you get that fully healthy starting 5 across the board. Not to mention tight end is probably not our strongest suit. And I ain't even name, I don't know if any of them are even great blockers. So you want to have a good O-line to shore that up as much as you can. Something that I would like to see from this team would be to get things going, would be to make opponents fear Emeka Egbuka. He's really good. Like, if any other receiver in the 2024 class besides Jeremiah Smith was on this team. Matter of fact, if any other number one receiver in most classes throughout history was on this team, you'd probably be saying Emeka Egbuka is guaranteed for another 1,000-yard season. He's probably still going to get another 1,000 this year as a receiver too, but this guy is, and again, I am not saying make JJ number 2 and that's your plan going forward. No, I'm saying the cat's kind of out of the bag with JJ. Let him remember who Emeka is. Maybe you force feed him 9, 10, 11, 12 targets, and you let him really get dirty and do some work, because now teams are going to go, crap, forgot about that guy that was trying to guard the new cyborg freshman over there, right? Remind people that you have more than just these weapons. I think right now people see it as JJ's a freak and Buka, he's good enough. And you just got 2 amazing running backs, so they're all just weapons in there. Tate, he's good enough. I think the real way to view that is, wow, JJ is a freak talent that we probably haven't seen since like Julio Jones type of stuff as a freshman. And then Emeka Egbuka is a number 1 receiver on most teams in the country. And what do you do with this guy? I don't know how to guard him either. That's where we should be, is, I can't, how am I going to stop 2? Not just stopping 4 is hopeless, right? So we want to get there. Let Emeka rumble. He's a really good receiver, probably not going to be receiver 1 on this team, but he's good enough to make defenses really get put in a conundrum, and that's what I'd like to see. And another thing on offense, I think Will Howard, we don't want to run him a ton and get him hurt or anything, but that zone read or whatever it is, he just improvise and keep for that touchdown run a couple weeks ago against Western Michigan. I told the people I was watching with, I said, man, we're not even letting Howard run yet. That's a whole nother wrinkle in this offense, especially a Chip Kelly offense. The we could sprinkle in and hurt people. And with Will being a limited down the field passer, you don't want teams to just get overly confident and making you do short passes and run the ball with the running backs. You want to keep all your weapons open, and if they don't respect that quarterback run, you don't make them respect it, then that limits your offense. So I would love to see Will Howard get some more, and let him learn how to run with this team, with our offense. Where might the holes be? What coverages might break down against what plays and open us wide open? If we call that draw against zone, it's not going to work, or against this coverage, it will work. I like when this backs my lead blocker, or whatever the case may be, right? Not a lot, but just enough, again, to let him, because against good teams, you'll need that. JJ, he'll have days where he's not throwing the ball. He's not such a great passer that he's not going to be prone to an off day now and then. He probably will have some off days. So I would say you're going to have days like maybe a Penn State game. If he's not on his passing game, those legs are going to have to come into play, right? Michigan, as bad as they've looked, you might have to come into play. Oregon for sure. So that's going to be something he's going to need to learn, is really to be fresh at the running and really know how it's going to fit in this offense. I'm not saying you run him 14 times, 7 or 8 carries down, not he, got sacked a few times, like 7 or 8 times with intention, his number was called. I think that's going to be plenty. Tell him not to, get too crazy with the contact. And that's one more wrinkle defense we're going to have to respect. Defensively, it's really hard. It's really hard to come up with anything defensively. I will say this. I would like to maybe see a little more selective pressure. When you're playing teams that you're better than, I would like to see Jim Knowles kind of go back to the old Jim Knowles and just let it rip. He's starting to do that more. I feel like in the past, especially with Kerry Combs' defense, I was scared if they blitzed because they weren't very good at getting home. But more than that, like the extra numbers, they were a little boom and bust, but there were times where I'm just like, there's zero chance they're holding up in the back end without everybody backing coverage. There's zero chance they're holding up. So you could kind of see why I've been nervous about the blitz. And then even Jim Knowles' first year, you definitely saw that, right? And a lot of us were questioning, is this the guy? I didn't know. Maybe he wasn't the guy. So um, he's looked a lot better. His concepts, his team is continuously proven. He looks like he is the guy. But against these worst teams, you can let it rip. When I'm watching a team I root for and it's a big third down, I kind of like, I hope they don't bring pressure because even though it's one less in the back in coverage, it's just less time. And it takes a really good quarterback to always recognize what about the blitz caused a weakness in the coverage scheme. And then do we have the route tree called to exploit that, or is it going to take too long? Right. So against worse teams, just get them off the field. Get them off the field and rest them. Third down, bring 6. Let them prove they can beat it. And that's about it, guys. I'm excited to see Buckeye football back. I hope you guys had a good time coming back and seeing us. We're going to be cranking out more Buckeye content. A lot of good things coming the way of the Buckeyes. Please subscribe to this channel, and we're going to keep giving you content throughout the season. As always, I wish you goodbye, God bless, and go Bucks.